Getting into character is no joke. So I've compiled a list of actors that have taken things way too far on set. We're talking scary hospital visits, committing actual heinous crimes, and sleeping inside the carcass of an animal to withstand below freezing weather. Yeah, let's unpack this. It wouldn't be a video about method acting if I didn't bring up Heath Ledger's Joker performance.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Did you know that he locked himself away in a London hotel for a month, writing daily diary entries as the Caped Crusader's arch nemesis? There was even a time in Brokeback Mountain where he was supposed to turn into an alleyway and cry into a wall, but he ended up punching the brick with such force that he really seriously injured his hand. Dude literally stalked a woman for acting research. Jamie Dornan was method acting his crime drama series The Fall, where he plays a serial killer.
He is a relatively normal person outside of the murders.
So he could better understand the mind of such a person, he purposely stalked a woman he saw on the London Underground. He was on the train with her, and she ended up getting off a few stops before he was planning. So he got off with her and followed her around while she walked the streets. He said, though, he wasn't proud of his actions. He said he felt dirty, that he did learn something valuable when it came to playing the character. Ashton Kutcher took things a little too far when it came to getting into character for his role as Steve Jobs.
Do you know why people buy an Apple? Why do they buy an Apple, not the competitor?
The 2013 biographical film Jobs shows the early collaboration between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. So, obviously, he spent a ton of hours doing research on Steve Jobs' life, even landing himself in the hospital after trying to mimic his questionable eating habits. Ashton Kutcher ended up in the hospital not once, but twice, with pancreatitis, trying to eat like Steve Jobs. One instance included him only eating grapes for every meal. Yeah, definitely a bit too far in that regard. I couldn't possibly get into every insane method acting experience Robert De Niro has had, but for starts, when he was preparing for his role in Taxi Driver, he actually worked 12-hour days as a New York City cab driver. That might not seem ridiculous, but let's talk about the fact that when he starred in Cape Fear, he paid a dentist to actually grind his teeth down in order to get into his psychopath stalker character. Leonardo DiCaprio's first Oscar in his entire career came after 4 decades for his role in The Revenant. I don't think I'd ever want an award like this after learning about everything Leonardo went through for it.
This particular experience was a pretty memorable, profound, difficult one.
Leonardo, typically a vegetarian, ate raw bison, slept in an animal carcass, and underwent insanely freezing temperatures so he could portray the rugged character. Johnny Depp is notorious for his method acting. When he was preparing for his role in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he spent years studying Hunter S. Thompson. He actually even lived in Hunter's basement, sleeping and smoking next to barrels of gunpowder and spending most of his time reading old transcripts from the author. Hilary Swank spent a month preparing for her role in Boys Don't Cry, the tragic story of Brandon Teena. She actually lived her life as a man for that entire month, cutting off her hair, wearing binders, and putting socks down the front of her jeans. Apparently, her longtime neighbors thought she invited her brother to come live with her for a while. Well, yeah, that's super method. The most insane thing that happened while she was preparing for the role happened right before $1 Million Baby. She was spending 6 days a week in the gym for months, packing on 20 pounds of pure muscle, so engulfed in her regime that she didn't even notice when a massive blister exploded on her foot. After seeing a doctor, they told her she had a staph infection that was only a few hours away from reaching her heart. Scary. Rooney Mara did some major modifications for her role in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. She bleached her eyebrows, cut her hair short, got her eyebrows, nose, lip, and nipples pierced. It was really important to her to have these modifications as sort of like a second costume, because there's so much nudity in the film.
When I don't have my clothes on, it's like it's not my body. Like, I am still in character.
She also learned to skateboard, trained in martial arts, and learned to ride a motorcycle. There's also this insane scene she did in the movie A Ghost Story, where her character eats an entire chocolate pie by herself in a single take before running to the bathroom and getting sick. Rooney Mara said that was her first and last time tasting pie. I can't say I blame her for that. Whoever said acting is a fun job? These actors changed their hair, their body underwent extreme conditions, and almost even lost their lives because of some of these roles. Which role do you think was the most challenging? Is there anyone else you think should have been on this list?